Hi there, in this video I'm going to talk about my experience of switching to the S22 Ultra. First of all, in order to properly test this camera, most of this video is going to be recorded by the S22 Ultra and I'll mark it down here. Later in the video I'm going to share with you my settings for the longest battery life, fastest performance and my scientifically tested charging method for the longest battery lifespan. So I switched to this phone from the Note 10 Plus 5G and straight up I have to say the size and weight difference is significant. It's a really good thing I work out. The S22 Ultra is thicker and heavier, which doesn't really bother me, but it may be an important thing for you to know. While we're at it, let's compare the two phone speeds real quick side by side. I'm going to do a rebooting test and then I will open up a few apps to see if there's any difference in speed at all. Now, other than its speed, there are other major improvements I was super impressed with. These are, first of all, the screen. It's unreal. Without any doubt, this is the sexiest smartphone that ever existed. The brightness is insanely good. Even in the middle of a super sunny day while you're wearing dark sunglasses, the screen is perfectly visible. It's snappy, smooth and ultra responsive. Now, if you want to speed up your phone a little bit to its maximum performance or even slow it down a little bit, here's what you need to do. You open up the settings and you need to enable developer options, which will show up at the bottom just like this once you enable it. So how to get it enabled is you need to open up the about phone and you need to go into software information, and within that you go and build number and you have to click it 7 times in a row, and then once you do that, that new menu at the bottom here will show up, and you go into developer options and you'll go down. You have a lot more settings open up for you once you do this. So you go down and what you do is you have the window animation scale, transition and animator duration scale. So when you turn that off, you get the fastest performance. If you want to slow down your phone, then you just simply turn them up a little bit. This is the maximum now. One of my daughters actually did this because she preferred the slow change of the apps. Look at that. You turn off the animation scale. No, that's not it. And you get the fastest performance. So just look at it, how snappy is it? Everything is instantaneous. As soon as you touch anything, it just comes up. There's no delay, no holding back. You got the fastest performance, snappy. The S22 Ultra not only has the biggest battery, but it charges faster than any other phone I've ever used in my life, including the Note 20 Ultra. While we talk about the battery, there are 2 things you need to know about charging your device, which will significantly improve the lifespan of your battery. First, never charge and use your phone in the same time. Draining the battery while charging it is the best way to kill it fast. Second, don't ever simply leave your phone on a charger. The best thing you can do is to keep the charge between 80 and 20%. I usually just set a reminder and take it off when the time is up. You don't believe me? Check this out. You open up the settings, type in more battery settings, and down at the bottom a menu will pop up which will protect the battery. If you turn it on, it won't let your phone charges to more than 85%. I just wish it came with a charger brick. Like, why? Samsung, why? Now let's talk about the biggest improvement of all. This is of course the cameras. This includes both features and quality. I mean 4K 60 frames per second on all 5 cameras, 10 times optical zoom. Come on, that is just insane. This phone has the best camera software system out of all the smartphones that have ever existed. Features like director's view and video mode, in-body and optical stabilization with powerful computing are turning this phone into a very potent all-inclusive camera gear setup. There are of course limitations, mostly due to the size of the lenses. When it comes to filmmaking, the only real weakness is the low light performance, which isn't much of a problem for photography, and even for videos there are ways to get around it. For example, if you're shooting in low light, you can always put your camera on the tripod and if necessary, you can create movement by cropping in post-production. Especially if you're shooting in 8K, there's an insane amount you can zoom in and the quality is still going to be amazing. And for stills too, you get the best results if you put the camera on the tripod and you set like a 2-second timer, because then it won't be moving, it'll be stationary. While we're talking about filmmaking, it's often said that the audio is even more important than the video quality. And the S22 Ultra has 2 inbuilt microphones, which will give you pretty decent audio quality.
So this is what we're doing. We're testing the microphone. There's nothing connected. This is straight out of the phone in the noisy environment. Loads of cars driving past. We're testing the inbuilt microphones of the phone inside a car. A car is generally a good enough place to record audio because the sound doesn't bounce around too much.
But if you want to get even more serious about your audio, your simple solution is to just plug in something like this Rode wireless mic, and you simply turn it on. No other settings required, and this will sound like this.
Audio recorded through the USB connection, and then the thing about this mic is you can walk away from the thing and you still get great audio. I can actually leave about 100 meters, 150 meters I think is the distance, and the audio is still going to be great. It's a super simple setup. All you do is just plug it in and then you're ready to go. There we go.
You will be getting a broadcast studio quality even at a distance. Yeah, this is a killer combo. All in all, this phone is more than enough for content creators. Let me show you what I mean. It's super convenient. It sits in your pocket, right? It's very fast to use. You can get all these different kind of shots out of one device. Quality is great. It's everything you will ever need to tell a great story. Put it this way, filmmaking simply doesn't get easier than shooting with this phone.